Hello everyone, welcome to the ALTTPR League Week 7 race between Guardians of the Galaxy Brain on the left-hand side, being represented today by Olhaado and He's Just a Boy. And their opponents this week are Forfeiters Are Us, being represented this week by humbugh and Recitador. I am James FNX and I'll be calling the action today for you. And this is going to be the last race in the Hyrule Castle division. Forfeiters Are Us are in 21 points, and they are in 5th place in the league currently. And Guardians of the Galaxy Brain are on 6 points, and they are in 8th place in the division. We'll get getting started here in just a minute. This is a co-op all dungeons seed, so the two teams will be able to pass out information between each other, or where your locations are, what to grab, what not to grab, and how to make a route through this. So it's going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to communication, and we'll see which team has it as we get going here. Start with Blue Mail in Sanctuary. Both Forfeiters Are Us both choose to take that route, while He's Just a Boy starts at Link's house and just gets a piece of art for his troubles. humbugh choosing to go east. Going to do a Houlihan here. Recitador heads over to the Lost Woods area. Is going to check out that Lumberjack Ledge and head over to the two item locations in the Lost Woods proper. He's Just a Boy is heading down to Kakariko from the south. And Olhaado's going to head down to South Shore. So we got 4 different ways to go here between our 4 runners. Lumberjack's not going to do anything for our runners today. Olhaado trying to fake flipper to get down to, or get up to where he can do his own Houlihan room. Meanwhile, we got He's Just a Boy in Kakariko getting just some bombs from the tavern. Bombs in the Lost Woods for Recitador. He won't have to buy any. That's a good sign for him. And humbugh's going to make their way over to the dam and probably to Mini Moldorm Cave after that. Both these runners who chose to do the Houlihan are picking up bombs to make that available. There's a lamp in the Kakariko well. Some money in the back. And just more money in the well. So 1 item there for our runners. Some powder in the back of Blind's hut there. But nothing else so far in Kakariko. Just that lamp, that powder. Olhaado lets us know that Ice Palaces are green pendant today. Just gets a shield for the troubles in Sarasla's hut. Well, humbugh is going to take on the Mini Moldorms here, trying to bomb them away. This has blue mail, so it's a little safer, but it's still not free or easy. humbugh down to 1 bomb here. It's got 1 shot, 1 dream with this Mini Moldorm, and just going to walk up to it, let the bomb drop on it, and get to the back. Not a lot for the troubles. So far, runners getting a lot of cash and not a lot of items. Humbugh's gonna make their way over to Ice Rod Cave and take a look there. Meanwhile, Olhaado in Eastern Palace has only found dungeon items so far in the first 2 checks. Red Mail and Ice Rod Cave, so humbugh will have at least some safety to start out the seed. Recitador going through the maze race only to find a single arrow at the end. Olhaado with our first item in Eastern Palace, just a heart container. And he's just a boy. We'll take our first look at the Uncle drop. Nothing from the Uncle today. Interestingly, Olhaado did not have the lamp and decided not to continue on to the vanilla big key chest in Eastern Palace, which we know where that lamp's at. We know it's in Logic. And we know there's one item left in Eastern. It could be there, and that could be where our next piece of progression's at. He's just a boy heading into the escape sequence. Full up on bombs. Shouldn't have too many problems getting the three item locations down here. Well done in that first run. And the hook shot is our first item inside the escape. While it's not going to provide any progression right at the moment, it is going to be able to stun these enemies, find out what the stun pack is, and will provide a little bit faster transfer across the overworld. The other nice thing about the hookshot, to be able to stun these guards and just bomb them away for a little bit of consistency if they chooses to do that. Just a map and the boomerang chest. Both He's Just a Boy and Recitador have this lamp, so they're going to be able to check that dark cross location afterwards as well. A flute and Zelda cell that'll get these two runners up to Death Mountain. With that hook shot, we'll open up the east side of Death Mountain. Both our runners taking the death trip back up to the entrance. He's Just Boy's going to head over to Dark Cross shortly. Recitador right behind him, while humbugh is going to try this dark room. The Eastern Dark Room, the first one is too hard, so he should be able to make it out okay. Especially with Red Mail. The anti-fairies do harder damage no matter what, but everything else is going to just breeze on by him. and a small key and dark cross, so we'll be able to continue on all the way to the back of escape. Just 3 bombs in the last chest on Eastern, so nothing is there for Guardians of the Galaxy Brain. And a bow to finish out the escape sequence. So 3 big items in the escape: the hookshot, the flute, and the bow. And both teams telling the other runner, hey, just get to escape as quickly as you can. You need to be here. Uh, asking Someone asked in chat about items in Eastern Palace. We have seen everything. Armos is just going to have a dungeon item at this point. The big key chest had our 3rd item in it. So on He's Just a Boy and Recitador's side, the ducks are unstuck, the pheasants are present. And we're going to head in and save this old man and then head over to East Death Mountain. Humbug getting his flute and saving Quitting. Olhado's going to continue around the back and grab that bow. Guardians of the Galaxy Brain do not know that there is not an item in Armos. They skipped out on the big key chest, while Forfeiters of Rust do know. That's why Humbug is heading straight up to Death Mountain at this point. Recitador taking a death here. 3 hearts is a hard way to live on Death Mountain. No matter having whatever mail you have, those rocks are going to deal harder damage to you, no matter what. Olhaado trying to get through the back of Escape with no lamp. This might be a little too much time on their hands, so Olhaado does decide to give it up. Humba has Kakariko gets a lamp. Grab that powder too out of there, I assume. Humba activating the flute as well as He's Just a Boy picks up a sword in Paradox Cave. And the hammer. That'll get him back to Tower of Hera. So already 2 of our 10 dungeons are completable, given what we have so far. Flippers on the floating island, those are going to be locked in behind the mirror. He's just a boy choosing to go through Spiral Cave instead of heading to Hera. It's an interesting decision. I don't know if I agree with that one, but it's what's happening on his side. In Agnes Cave, we have a glove. It's our first glove this seed. We're just a moon pearl away from Dark World access at this point. And he's just a boy. Instead of heading over to Tower Hera, is heading back into Kakariko. And is going to check out this powder drop. We'll see what the magic bat he has here in just a moment. Recitador for Fourth Address is going to head over to Tower Hera, so we'll just take a look at that location. Just 20 rupees from the magic bat today. Recitador is going to dive into Hera here. Big key in the cage. He's just a boy is going to decide to head over and finish off Eastern Palace with that bow. We'll probably leave Hera for Olhaado. Small key in the first chest, so no items yet. So far, the seed has been fairly linear, funneling our runners up into Death Mountain and then into Hera after that. There's our mirror in Tower Hera. That's going to make getting back to Hera very slow for He's Just a Boy at some point. He'll find out the bad news in a bit once Olhaado gets up there. Recitador is going to make that way over to Moldorm 50-50, whether it's got an item or the last dungeon drop, and we'll have to go in the basement after that. With Hammer, just 3 hits will take care of Moldorm. Hammer does have kind of a wonky hitbox, though, so Recitador gets it done without getting knocked around by Moldorm. Good job today. And just a compass, so we're going to have to go back in and head to the basement for that last item. Humbug's going to go for a hair pot here. Recitador should be able to tell him that you may need to do that basement. He's just a boy. Heading over to Armos. Should be taking on that boss shortly. We'll find out what this other item is in here here in just a moment. It is the cape. So that opens up Aghanim's Tower. Cape, fighter's sword, and lamp is what you need to get in if you don't have the master sword. So our runners may be stuck here with an Aghanim required seed. Olhaado is going to go for a Herapod as well here. Yeah, at this point, I don't think there are any other locations that are open to our runners other than Aghanim's Tower. So the classic Moon Pearl on Pyramid might be what we got here today. And Olhaado gets soft locked and it's going to have to save and quit. That is very unfortunate. As now he's going to have to walk all the way back around to go get to Hera again. Zora is... No one has done Zora. Zora is technically in logic because of the gloves. So that is the one last location that could be available. He's just boy does grab those gloves. And Recitador, before heading over to Aghanim's Tower, is going to head over and do these fake flipper checks. Can't get in Waterfall Cave, but can get to Zora this way. Smartly gets out of the water to avoid a soft lock death there. Just a heart container on the ledge. We can't get that one yet. Meanwhile, he's just a boy is choosing to do a fake flipper as well. It's going to head over to Hobo. We'll still see what that item is. Just some bombs from Zora. So in logic, it is an Aghanim seed. Hobo has a bottle with a B in it, so very close to what he's got in the normal game. But does open up one more location for each just to check. And Humbo's making the climb. Recitador is right on his trail, as both runners report for SRS have made the call to head up Aghanim's Tower. He's just a boy's gonna do some Ancilla here, trying to gives up on the plan. He's run out of ammunition. And is just gonna go over and find out what Zora's got. Well, Hado gets his first crystal. So everyone is on one dungeon completed at this point. Olhaado heading downstairs now. He's going to get that cape. And humbugh is here ready to take on Aghanim. Let's see how many blue balls Aghanim gives us today. Two blue balls in the first cycle. Two in the second cycle. So we're going to be here a little bit longer. And humbugh has got Aghanim down. Recitador has just entered the fight, and we're about to find out what's on this pyramid that is progression for our runners. That bunny sprite is adorable. Is the moon pearl on pyramid? The runners have hammer and hook shot. They can get just about wherever they want in the dark world now that they're in there. And humbugh is going to choose to head to Palace of Darkness. Plenty of money. Olhaado is finally going to go grab their bow. And he's just a boy. He's going to try his own hair pot to get up to the upstairs section here and get his mirror. Big key starting pod. So that bow is going to come into play here. Is we are not. We're requiring a bow to move further in this dungeon. No bottles and launch kits yet. He just did grab one from the hobo, but no chance at a potion glitch here. Thankfully, auto runners have the bow at this point, so. So humbugh continue through pod here, grabbing a couple keys from the right hand side. We'll get to the meat of the dungeon here shortly. Recitador with hammer clubs. Moon Pearl is going to head down to the swamp warp, and it's going to head out and check out High Cave. And Olhaado is making his way through Agnes Tower. He's just the boy that finished on Olorm and get the second dungeon done for himself. Let's see what Hype Caves has for us. That's the Fire Rod. A Master Sword. A couple pieces of heart. Not a bad Hype Cave today. Humbugh trying to do a trust fall. No one there to catch him. Just one heart. He's going to have to be careful. It does have red mail, but a lot of things in this dungeon do one heart and just don't care about your mail. Our pendants today are Thieves Town, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock. Shout outs to our trackers, Dark Diplomat and Iker, getting all that information for our runners as it comes up. This Dark Maze is a really dangerous place to be with only one heart. Those flames will deal 1 point of damage no matter what your mail is. The Dodongos themselves will also deal 1 point of damage if you run into them, and then with a mirror, you're not looking to death warp here. You can avoid it. Recitador found ether on Old Stumpy. Just a piece of art in the digging game. Despite being a completable dungeon, Pod has had not much for humbugh as he's gone through it so far. Recitador is doing the magic bat check that their team opted out of before doing Aghanim. They're going to find out it's just repeats today. And it looks like Olhaado is going to choose to head to House of Darkness here. hesjustaboy is about to get done with Aghanis Tower on his end. Recitador will head into Village Outcasts. That Fire Rod Skull Woods is completable. Thieves Town is fully completable. And there are 3 other checks around here, so we're likely to find some good stuff here on Recitador's side of the screen. As Humbugh heads into the Helmasaur King fight. See how well he can extend that hammer hitbox with the Fighter Sword. This is a tough fight with just fighters. Optimus switches the bow, gets a good good spawn there. for fireballs and takes out Helmasaur King, picking up his second dungeon. That'll be good news for Recitador later on, as he'll just be able to grab that big key from the start and head to the right-hand side and just head straight to the boss. Humbugh going to do the double here and finish up Eastern Palace. Well, nothing in the Village Outcast Overworld checks. Recitador is going to head into Thieves Town. And for Guardians of the Galaxy Ring, he's just a boy's going to take our first look at Catfish. A piece of heart and some rupees so far in Thieves Town. There's a big key. And Titan's bits are on Catfish. That is quite the location. He's just a boy. He's going to rush over to Dark Death Mountain and check out the 6 checks over there. Pick up flippers as well. Does have to be careful. He only has one bomb. Hopefully he remembers where to pick some up here. There is a shop that's bomb locked in Paradox Cave. See if he remembers that. If not, things could get interesting. Just some arrows upstairs for Recitador in Thieves Town. So not much in the way of items in Thieves Town. This is all done. Just got to get it done. But gonna be a little disappointed taking all this time just to get the big old nothing burger. And I believe that is our final shield that he's just a boy found up in Super Bunny Cave. Humbugh and Recitador each found shields in different locations. Tarok is going to require Bombos to get into today. And only a boomerang in Thieves Town for items. Hookshot Cave has even less, and he's just a boy, only has one bomb, is not going to be able to get all the way over to open up the path to those flippers. Realizing the error of his ways now. Meanwhile, humbugh is going to head over to Skull Woods. Recitador nicely done in that blind fight will take Thieves Town down, get his second dungeon. Humbugh's on 3 dungeons for Forfeited Dress, and on Guardians of the Galaxy Brain side, Olhaado has 1 dungeon done, and He's Just a Boy has 2. So He's Just a Boy is going to head over to Tower of Hera to pick up some bombs from upstairs. Recitador sees a potion on Bumper Ledge, and it's going to go grab it. We got Olhaado taking on Helmosaur King. We got humbugh taking on Mothula. Humbugh getting it done. Nicely done. Olhaado busting out the bow to finish off Helmosaur King. Very fortunate pattern there. Good job of both our runners, picking up dungeons. And Olhaado will likely mirror up and do the double with Eastern Palace. He's just a boy side, dying before getting to those flippers. And dying in the Dark World means he's going to have to mirror and then flute all the way back up. Getting our first look at Graveyard Ledger on Recitador side of the screen. And likely our last look. Humbugh is hunting for items in Skull Woods. Recitador is going to make his way over to Catfish, and we'll get those mitts over on Forfeiter Zara's side. The Ice Rod is in where the Fire Rod normally is in Skull Woods. That is our second item from that dungeon, and Humbugh's on his way out. Well, Olhaado is going to take on Armor's Knights here on the left-hand side. And He's Just a Boy is going to head over to do Spike Cave, it looks like. Both runners for Forfeiters are us choosing to pick up that red potion. It's our first bottle. It makes sense. Just 10 arrows in Spike Cave for He's Just a Boy. Did pick up those slippers on the second trip up Death Mountain, though. With that fire rod location, you got to think Ice Palace is next on the minds of forfeiters or us. Swamp Palace is also fully completable at this point as well. He's Just a Boy manages to have enough bombs this time. We're running really low in that bomb count all seed long. Does get his fire rod and his master sword though. Olhaado attempts to throw himself into the ring for Catfish. Nice fake flip for Humbugh there. We have to see what these two chests are in Waterfall. Do know they're in logic at this point now that those mitts have been located, but a lot quicker to grab them now than to go up and get those mitts later. Just some heart containers though. I think He's Just a Boy is going to make his way to Swamp Palace. We're going to get our first look at what Sick Kid has on store for us. Just a little piece of his heart. Humbug does decide to make the call. Ice Palace is in logic now and heads in there. Just some rupees for the first item for Humbug and Ice Palace. Rough death for Recitador there is going to continue to try and make his way up and get those slippers. Just with a heart and a half left, Humbug does get that bomb jump tooled off. Our blue boomerang in Swamp Palace for He's Just a Boy. He's Just a Boy going to skip left side for now and head straight to the back. We're going to see a diver down on his side of the screen. out of bombs now. It's going to have to give it up and go back the intended route. Olhaado is the first to take these mitts over to Village Outcast and take a look at what our blacksmith has and what's in these hammer pegs. Just a piece of heart in the hammer peg location. And the boots and ice palace for humbugh. I believe that's our second item out of Ice Palace. Just some rupees on the blacksmith. I believe humbugh got his third item, just rupees out of the last chest in Ice Palace as well. So on his way to the boss, on his way to take on Cold Stare. Not a lot of health. Does have that red potion though, so should be all right to go. Well, he's just a boy taking on Argus here. Trying to grab two of those puffs at a time and spin them. Doesn't quite get it on that cycle. Does get it there. And humbugh's in a dangerous spot here. Another kiss from one of those eyeballs is going to take him down. He's just a boy. Does get Argus taken care of on the left-hand side. And humbugh gets it done. Well done fight with Cold Stare there. So it looks like Swamp Palace did not provide much for East Just a Boy. He's going to choose to go back in and check out the left-hand side. And humbugh found the boots in Ice Palace. So Recitador heading into the mire area. I did not catch what medallion was required for that. But Checkerboard Cave's not going to be anything the Recitador wants today. And my guess is Recitador is going to head into the desert at this point. Humbugh on his way to rush and get those flippers, and with Recitador checking out the mire and desert area, my guess is Humbugh's going to head over to Swamp Palace. Quick bomb check. Things are looking good for Humbugh to get those flippers. Gets the memo from his partner that Hookshot Cave has nothing for him. So at this point, we need to know where that Canis Maria is at. We need to know where Bombos is at. And if we get another look at what that medallion does in Mire, it might be something we need as well. I'm going to turn this green pendant in and see what it pays off with. Well, he's just a boy finds silvers on the left side of Swamp Palace. Recitador almost runs out of magic, just has barely enough to get those 4 torches lit. It's ether for Mire, so we know where that one's at. So at this point, we are just looking for the Canis Samaria, and we're just looking for... Yeah, it's just the Canis Samaria and Bombos at this point. Sarasla had the shovel. We'll see if that is hiding something in the grove here in a little bit. But first, Humbo's going to head to Swamp Palace. Recitador having that Ether Medallion already, likely going to head into Mire after this. Getting that magic refill and art refill is a nice bonus before you head into Mire 2. Instead, the Recitador is going to head over to Ice Palace and get those boots. A small key on the torch in Desert, which means this is going to be the big key since we saw Recitador take out Land Moles just a moment ago. That makes grabbing these boots make a bit more sense if you want to find that last item in Desert. At this point, most of our territory has been covered already. Recitador is heading to Ice Palace to go get those boots. And Olhaado is going to go get their Ice Rod out of Skull Woods after beating Mothula. And we'll see if humbugh chooses to go get the silvers on the left-hand side or not. He's going to try to dive her down here. Nicely done. Well done by humbugh. And he's just boy gets the bug net off of Lamos and gets another dungeon completed. One more item in Desert, so I'm going to lock behind that key that is on the torch. So we'll see when one of these 2 runners for Guardians of the Galaxy Reign head over to Ice Palace and pick up those boots. Looks like this is going to be our... He's just boy grabbing ether from Stumpy before heading back into the mire area. Meanwhile, Recitador is closing around those boots, and humbugh is going to head in the left side swamp and get those silvers. He's just a boy has both of those 5-6 crystals done, so we're going to get our first look at the big bomb location. See what our pyramid fairy is hiding inside her fountain. We have a heart container and another heart container, so no progression there. He just was going to choose to get a refill. Or not. Looks like Swamp House also had the can of Burna, as he's just a boy and humbugh both have that item. Humbugh going to pick up some red potion, or he's just a boy going to pick up some blue potion, sorry. And we'll see where he's headed next. Olhaado gets the red potion up on Bumper Ledge, and he's just boy is now making his way to his palace. So he'll pick up those boots, and we'll certainly tell Olhaado to get over there as quickly as possible. Oh, Recitador. The rough death there. Did get the boots, though. But did die to cold stairs. Gonna have to come back later. Some magic. Get a check on our shovel spot from Humbo's side. Just a big 20. Receiver is going to take a look at these two bonk locations. Half magic in the bonk rocks. Just what he asked for. And just 50 rupees in King's Tomb. So we're going to have to make our way over to Desert and see what the last item is and check out Mire as well. I think that is just about what we have left here in terms of locations we don't know about yet. Olhaado is going to head into Mire right now. And while we have a moment to reset, this is week 7 of the ALTTPR League. We have a co-op all dungeons race. Both teams are going to have to get both runners to complete all 10 dungeons, Aghanim's Tower, Ganon's Tower, to beat Ganon. And the team with the fastest combined average time is going to be the winners today. Guardians of the Galaxy Brain on the left-hand side, Olhaado and hesjustaboy. On the right-hand side, forfeiters are us with humbugh and Recitador. And we are still looking for Kayla Samaria and the Bombos Medallion to get ourselves go mode. Olhaado looking for Kayla Samaria here and finds it in Misery Mire. What a location. What a find. That is a rough location for that item. Thankfully, at this point, runners don't have a lot of stuff left to check. So we're all going to get led over to this area in just a short amount of time. humbugh and Desert's going to be able to grab the small key, and we're going to find out what this other item is in Desert Palace. There's our second item out of Misery Mire. Just 50 rupees. And Olhaado with that big key is going to make his way quickly to downstairs and take out Vitreous. Just a piece of heart for the other item in Desert, so humbugh's going to make his way into Misery Mire here shortly and get that Canis Maria. And meanwhile, Recitador is going to show us the power of co-op and is going to check 2 chests in Palace of Darkness and head on out. And with Turbo Rock being a pendant, that Bombos Medallion could be buried in Ganon's Tower today. hesjustaboy did find the boots and is heading down to face Cold Stare now. Olhaado's going to use some bomb strats to take out these small eyeballs here for Vitreous. This is a rough fight without Tempered Sword or Silver Arrows. Olhaado did pick up that red potion, so he does have one piece of safety here. I think with that cape, I would just get the cape up and start slashing away. Should be enough magic power to finish off the rest of these eyeballs. Let's get the small eyeballs done. About to finish off the big one. So at this point, we have everything we need for Ganon's Tower. The only item we need now is Bombos to open up Turtle Rock. And that Bombos Medallion can be anywhere in Ganon's Tower. We're running out of places outside of Ganon's Tower where that item could be. humbugh will be ready to ascend that tower shortly, as he's just a mire and desert away from having everything complete. While he's just a boy, is going to finish up pod here. And we'll have just Skull, Woods, and Mire to complete to get his access again his tower. Olhaado will have a Swamp Palace to go through fairly quickly. It'll be an interesting decision at this point whether Olhaado is going to go grab those silvers or not. And Recitador has a bunch of dungeons still to do, but they all should be pretty quick to do at this point. There's nothing other than the Swamp Palace call, whether to grab those silvers or not. That's about the only decision Recitador is going to have to make in terms of, do I go mode this dungeon or not? Misery Mire down for humbugh, and Desert Palace is going to be next. And once Desert Palace is complete for humbugh, we're going to open up the SpeedGaming Gans Tower Big Key Guessing game. The only dungeon that we don't know everything about is Ganon's Tower at this point. Every other dungeon has been full cleared by one runner or another, so it's just a matter of the only decision for our runners to make before making the Ganon's Tower climb at this point is whether or not they're going to go grab those silver arrows in Swamp Palace on the left-hand side. With those silver arrows, humbugh makes quick work of Land Molus, picking up crystal number 7. We'll see where this flute goes to. If it's heading to 1, we're going to start the big key guessing game. He's not. He's going to go to Thieves Town first, so we're going to hold off on that for just a moment. Well, Olhaado's going to pick up some refills here, grab a fresh stack of bombs. He's just a boy who takes care of Helmasaur King. Picks up crystal number 5 for him. And Recitador is almost on the way to Armos Knight to pick up his 4th crystal. Yeah, the big key guessing game will start when one of our runners with 7 crystals heads up the mountain. And we'll be counting on the first runner into the tower. Yeah, this is a all dungeon seed for, so we will need to beat that Turtle Rock dungeon before we can actually kill Ganon. I'm actually kind of surprised that humbugh is choosing to do Thieves Town before heading up Ganon's Tower. Recitador has gone through this dungeon already cashed in the green pendant. We haven't checked. Yeah, pedestal's dead, can't be Bombos. So Recitador's already been through this dungeon. We know that Bombos is not in here. So at this point, I would have just gone up Ganon's tower and figured out where that was and figured out how to go mode it for your partner, and then worried about clearing out Thieves Town. I believe the lunchbox was turned in and wasn't anything important. I may have missed a check here and there, but I believe that everything has been done in this seed that can be done at this point. Just Boy's going to head into Misery Mire now and finish up that dungeon, leaving Skullwoods for him. Olhaado's got those boots now. He's going to finish up Ice Palace, and we'll just have Swamp to do. And that'll be our Recitador's in Swamp as well. And this will be the big interesting decision here. We know that the silver arrows are on the left-hand side, which is very slow to get to. So we'll see if our runners decide they want to actually pick up those silvers or just go into the game and fight without. It's like Recitador is making the call to skip those silver arrows. And we are headed up to Death Mountain, so we're going to get this game started for you in just a moment. There are 22 locations at Ganon's Tower. One of them has the big key. If you get those guesses in chat right now, first person to guess correctly will pick up some big leaderboard points and internet cred. Anyone else that gets the answer right on the button will also pick up some internet cred and some smaller portion of it. Olhaado getting done with Ice Palace. He's going to make his way over to Swamp now. It's your last chance to get those guesses in. Olhaado going to check some of these boots lock locations. Half Magic was at this one. Meanwhile, he's just a boy gets Misery Mire done and just has Swamp or Skullwoods and Thieves Town left before they'll make their way up to Ganon's Town. Humbugh choosing to do the Dark Magician route. 5 checks in so far, nothing yet. Humbugh going to be the only runner making this climb without half magic. Gets through the first magic intensive part of this without any issues. Big 20, another big 20, another big 20, and 50 rupees in the compass room. So first 11 checks, nothing going. No swords, no big key. Without that half magic, Humbugh's going to choose to finish up the left-hand side to get to our Ice Armos. More rupees in the firebar chest. Rough routing for Olhaado. This is just now going to get those flippers. Get a look at lucky number 13 here. It's the Book of Medora, which could lock our Bombos medallion. And 14 through 17 have a sword for us. But still no big key. Bob's chest just big 20 today, so our keys either in behind Ice Armos or in Tile Room. There it is in chest number 19, and Bombos in chest 20. We're going to see if Humbugh heads out and goes to do Turtle Rock. We'll do that. And our winner today in the Big Key Guessing game is one of our trackers, Dark Diplomat, guessing 21. Being closest to the number. Enjoy that internet cred. Humbugh's going to hop into Turtle Rock now and get this done before finishing up Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Recitador is having to revisit Ice Palace here. He got the boots earlier, but died to Cold Stare. He's Just a Boy is on his first Ice Palace trip. He's got those boots as well and is making his way to Cold Stare. And Olhaado is hopping into Swamp now that he's got those flippers. Recitador does also have a trip to Misery Mire to do still. Thankfully, the big key is pretty early, so just need to grab that in the Key of Samaria. It looks like he's just lost his item count in Ice Palace and is heading out there. Is going to head over to Thieves Town now. So humbugh for Forfeiter's Rest does have a pretty big lead on everyone else, but once again, this is not first to the finish. We're judging on the combined average time of our two runners on each team. Whichever team has the lowest time is going to win this race. So humbugh being out in the front is good news for Forfeiter's Rest, but it doesn't mean everything. Looks like Olhaado chose to skip Silver Arrows as well. Recitador takes care of Cold Stare and is going to have a Mire trip left. Olhaado getting bullied a bit by these water bugs. And having a little bit of trouble with the last puffer on Argus as well. It does get that pulled off finally. So Olhaado will be making his way up to Ganon's Tower shortly. That is crystal number 7 for Olhaado. And it looks like Olhaado's going to pick up some potions before making the ascent. Meanwhile, humbugh is on his way to Trinex. Was not able to skip Laser Breach. Did get the Butter Sword, though. So this Ganon fight is going to be easy mode for sure. Well done by humbugh in that try next fight. And all that's left now for him is the ascent of Ganon's tower and the fight with Ganon. Olhaado is going to make his way into Ganon's tower. We'll see how quickly he can make it back to Ice Armos and get the big key and Bombos. Recitador is almost to Vitreous here, and he's just a boy. Is a few rooms away from from. So Recitador is likely going to make his ascent first. Will know exactly what he needs to do. Whereas he's just a boy, is going to have to wait for Olhaado to figure everything out in Ganon's tower. Recitador, the really good fight against Vitreous there. That put him into access to Ganon's tower, and he'll make his way up to the climb here in just a little bit. Olhaado going through the left side. He's just a boy is also through, beating blind. So he will make his ascent shortly. Very nice. Quick kill with the silver arrows on Landwolves 2 on humbugh. Someone in chat asking how co-op works. Both our teams have separate voice calls they're able to talk to each other on and pass information back and forth. The games themselves aren't linked. They're all the same copy of the ROM, so you can tell your partner where items are at, what things you need to pick up, what things you don't need to pick up, things like that. So that's how our co-op races work here in the ALTTPR League. And Olhaado almost done with the left side, almost Ice Armos. We'll be picking up those items soon, sending He's Just a Boy over the right-hand side, which will end up being a quicker route for him. The right-hand side gets you to Ice Armos a little bit faster. It is a less direct route, but he is going to send him into Tile Room, which is unfortunate. Recitador is going to be able to skip that and head directly to Ice Armos. Bombos and the Big Key are both sitting in behind Ice Armos. Olhaado is going to choose to make the climb now and go do Turtle Rock later. I don't know if I like that decision. So humbugh is through and on his way to Ganon. And with gold swords, silver arrows, red mail, and I think at least one bottle of potion, this is going to be a quick fight for humbugh. 6 slashes in phase 1, 6 slashes in phase 2. Does let the fire bats come out here in phase 3. And at 2.5 hearts, that's not lethal, but definitely dangerous. Phase 3 is complete. Now we're just 4 silver arrows away from putting this pig to bed. It's a nice double there. Almost got the triple, but there it is. We have one person done, so we get one chi in chat for humbugh. He'll help Recitador get across that finish line as quickly as he can, but humbugh getting across that bridge and getting it done for Forfeiters or Us. He's got an official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 39 seconds. But we are not done. Both members of both teams have to get across the finish line, and whichever team has the fastest average time is going to get the victory today. hesjustaboy picking up his bombos and is going to head into Turtle Rock. Recitador doing the same thing. So we got Olhaado, hesjustaboy making the way through Turtle Rock right now. Recitador about to enter. Recitador knows that he's gonna have to go through the entire dungeon. There's no go mode in this one. We need the key from Laser Bridge with the layout. That big key in its middle of the location, unfortunately for our runners today. hesjustaboy is living on the edge here, just 2 hearts. Does have a blue potion, I believe. Also has powder, so we'll be able to turn these anti-fairies into fairies here in the next room. So not a lot to worry about. It's just what it does get a fairy, get that beacon out of the way. Olhaado almost to Laser Bridge. We'll be able to pass on the location to that last small key to Just a Boy, but that's about the only information he'll give. Let's see if Olhaado finds that sword before he finds the key. Does do it, gets his butter sword. But likely sending Just a Boy to that chest as well. Gets the small key. Looks like Recitador is having a hard time here of it in Turtle Rock. Let's see if he Just a Boy picks up that sword or not. That is a bad place to fall. Is going to go and try and get that sword. You have safety items. Use them. Phase 1 to try next done for Olhaado. Another batch of fairy food for He's Just a Boy. Olhaado getting his last dungeon done. And we'll go back to Gannis Tower shortly. Icehead getting a little excited for He's Just a Boy, but phase 1 down. Meanwhile, Recitador is finally about to make his way to Laser Bridge. Recitador taking another trust fall here on Laser Bridge before getting that key. Get knocked off again. Doesn't have a lot of magic left. Does have that King of Burna. Does finally manage to get that key. So here we go. Humbugh has given Forfeiters Rest a pretty big time advantage in this climb. But it is still anyone's race. Olhaado put Ether to good use there, killing all those Stalfos with one shot. Recitador. Did not step out of the dungeon and died to Trinex, heading all the way back to the start. That is the kind of opening that Guardians of the Galaxy Brain need here. Recitador didn't even reach Trinex, died in the room beforehand. It is a rough place to lose your life. Olhaado's through the gauntlet. He's just a boy. Almost through the gauntlet as well. 2 more rooms. He's just a boy through the gauntlet, and Olhaado will be up to face off against Moldorm soon. Not sure what He's Just a Boy has left for safeties. I saw Blue Potion's inventory in Charter Rock. I don't know if he used it or not. It does look empty, so it's going to have to be pretty careful here not to die. Olhaado in the room before Moldorm now. He's Just a Boy is living on the edge here. Just a Boy choosing to wait for to avoid the despawn here. I'd be surprised if he checks out these chests, seeing if there is a piece of heart or a heart container or something. Chooses to just make his way over. That will be able to get a refill off of the anti-fairies here and there. Recitador is finally a Trinex, gets through phase 1. Oh, you don't want to fall down here. Olhaado has Aghanim 2 down, is on his way to Ganon. Olhaado with Butter Sword but no silvers should make a pretty quick way out of these first 2 phases. Has done so. We'll have to do some spinning action to take care of phase 4. He's Just a Boy is now done with Aghanim 2, and Recitador is about to make his climb. A little early on that slash on Ganon there for Olhaado. Does get the torch glitch though, that's a really important part here. Recitador into the gauntlet. Just about. So his Mimic Room is first. We'll be in the gauntlet in just a room or 2. He's Just a Boy in phase 1. Phase 2 now. Into phase 3. And get those G's out in chat for Olhaado, getting it done. He will cross the bridge, and his official SRL time is 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 40 seconds. He's Just a Boy right on his tail, so now it's up to Recitador. He's Just a Boy finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 34 seconds. So Recitador has until a little after 2 hours to beat this to win the race for Forfeiters or Us. See if he runs into any more troubles here. He's in the Lambo fight. No silvers, so he's going to have to take this a little bit slower. Kind of low on his fire rod magic use as well. Deciding to finish this off with some spins and slashes. Into these wizard rooms. We're joined right now by humbugh. Humbugh, we're watching Recitador finish this race up, and you would manage to find a pretty good route through this.
Yeah. Regardless of the seed at all, I feel like I found a very nice route through the seed, but Resi, on the other hand, he cleared so much of the overworld that I didn't do. I mean, Kakariko, for once, only had the lamp, and that was it. But I got to skip it all. So he fell very much behind me since I got to do all the dungeons.
Yeah, and we're going to find out here pretty quick if Recitador can get it done fast enough for your team to win here. As we're also joined by He's Just a Boy and Olhaado from Guardians of the Galaxy Brain. GG's on your race. We let's see if Recitador can finish this up. Looked like you guys are confused a little bit near the end, looking for bombos.
Yep.
Yes.
We forgot it could be in GT for a few minutes. We started panicking, thinking like, oh no, what did we miss? Because yesterday we had a miscommunication in our race, so at least I was a little worried that we did kind of the same thing again. And then it spawned, it occurred to me when I was nearing Argus. I was like, oh wait, we can do GT.
Yeah, total mistake there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we saw you head back into Ice Palace, He's Just a Boy, when going after what we knew was a dungeon item at the end there. Still just, I guess, desperately looking for some way to skip GT, but really interesting seed sending you guys into Agnum's Tower pretty early with Moon Pearl out on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it for some reason, almost all the co-op dungeon seed that Resi and I have practiced on has had Aga for Dark World access, but not this way. This was weird.
Yeah, really weird. It's because it gives you Moon Pearl, and then it's like, okay, now you have full Dark World access. What do you want to do? And there was like nothing throughout the entire world. Like items are so sparsely located.
Yeah, and by the way, did both of you guys have the gloves when you got into the Dark World via Aga?
Yes, I found the gloves in Agina
Okay.
before I did Aghanim.
So
Yep.
because that was a mistake that we did. I was the only one with the glove, but I went to Pod and not Catfish, and Recitador didn't have the glove, so we couldn't go to Catfish.
Oh.
So we kind of isolated Catfish a bit, and we got the mitts late.
Alright, Recitador has just dropped in for his Gainer fight here, so if everything goes smoothly, it's going to be a victory for Forfeiters or us, but we've seen in the sea that things have not gone smoothly all the time.
Yeah, I think you guys won for the. You had quite the lead on us, Humbug, but I wasn't really expecting to win when at the moment we realized that we could have went into GT.
That's a tough thing to realize, that you've skipped GT for so long.
Yeah, we the whole time we were thinking of the things that couldn't be on pedestal, and then when we ruled out like that being a possibility, we just you know, in a lot of our practice ones, I was thinking about GT as an option, and this one it slipped my mind.
Yeah, one of the other interesting things they say, Olhaado, you kind of waited forever to go grab those flippers to beat Swamp, and that added a bit of time in that last climb up, basically an extra climb up Death Mountain.
Yeah, I thought about getting them earlier, but it would have been the same like number of climbs I would have needed to do. To me, it just kind of displaced when I needed to do it, because we had all the other water checks done. Like, we knew nothing was locked behind water at that point, so I figured I'd just go up when I do my Turtle Rock and get it.
And
Right.
It just so happened that couldn't even do Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Recitador into phase 4 here. Everything looks like to be going okay, so looks like we are going to get a victory. Unless there's a couple Ganon falls here, we're going to get a victory for Forfeiters or us. Just a reminder on this channel, right as soon as this race is over, we're going to be starting up another series. Pug Trito is going to take on Cloud Parade. Andy and Weighty Words against Shireen and Dracaris. That ought to be a pair of really good races. Anything else that really stood out at the seat for you guys? Because it seemed to be very linear, as Recitador does get Ganon down, so that will be the victory for Forfeiters or us.
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Anything else that stood on the seat? It seemed really linear at the start, funneling you guys into Aghanim, and then really opened up after that, and there were a lot of different paths. And
exactly, it was hard to like divide the chores between the two runners. It felt like it felt like I had to get into Recitador's path, and then he had to get into mine, and it was hard to be really efficient on both ends.
I think if you guys would have got those Titans mitts, that would have changed it, because our loading was, we spread it really well, I think, but because I got the Titans mitts and then got my flippers sort of right away with a few
Good point.
errors. And then I was in Swamp and Ice Palace and that stuff.
Yeah, and it so happened that apparently I got all the safeties. I got the butter sword, I got the red mail, I got the silvers, and Resi just he got some potions. That's what he got. He was sort of frustrated about that.
Yeah, you guys had red mail really quickly and just no health for the start of the season. There were a couple of unfortunate deaths at the start from just that low health count. But congratulations again to Forfeiters or us. Guardians Galaxy GG this race. Any final thoughts before we send this off to our next match?
Yeah, just gotta thank you for hosting the restream and everything, and also Resi couldn't join here. He had to leave, and also he was a bit frustrated. But he thanks everyone so much as well, both commentator James here and the trackers.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks again. Or give our runners a follow. Olhaado, humbugh, He's Just a Boy, and Recitador for the show they put on. Unfortunately, neither of you guys are going to make it onto the playoffs, but a great show here, a great show all through the league. I'd also like to give another shout out to our trackers today, Dark Diplomat and Iker, for the work they put in. We got another race coming up in just a couple minutes, so I'm going to step out of the way for our commentators for that race. Once again, we're going to have Pug Trio against Clown Parade. I'm James FNX. Stay right here. We got another race coming, and we'll see you then.